Hello, Wanderers fans. So, we have had a very exciting month. We have seen 8 players come in the doors alone this month. We were all saying this summer we needed an overhaul, and an overhaul we have gotten. So, what I wanted to do is take a look at all of those players, quickly talk about them, and give them a ranking from S to D. Now, first, let's go through what each means. So, S is an absolutely fantastic signing, top of the top. A is a very good signing. I think B is a good signing. I think C is pretty okay, and D is questioning why we brought them in. Now, I am happily in the position where I don't think any of these players I'm going to be rating below a C. I understand why all of these players have been brought in, and I really like what we are building. So first, we will start with our first signing of the window, and perhaps the most uninspiring, but also in its own right a good signing. Richard Keogh, who I am going to rate as a C signing, so I think he is a good signing. I think he would also be the lowest ranked signing because he is 36. He didn't play many games last season, so there is that concern that will he be capable of playing 20, 30 games this year? Especially with rumours like Chris Farino Joseph leaving, other players may not have it, may have injuries. Even though Chris stays, we have Tafazoli and we have Chris Farino Joseph, who both they do like to be on an injury bed sometimes. So will he be able to come in every time they're injured? Possibly, possibly not. So, but I think bringing him in for his experience and for his leadership is a fantastic, fantastic decision. He has it in spades, and that is something we have lacked. Akinfen were left. Blooms obviously became a manager rather than being a player. Many of the long-term leaders you may look at, Thompson, Gabe, they're gone. We need figures in the changing room, and Richard Keogh brings that. He reminds me a bit of Darius Charles, maybe not in his prime, but an absolute leader and an absolute veteran that can help our young lads, and young lads we do have. We have brought a lot of them in. Speaking of young lads, let's go to who is probably going to be a B team player, Lloyd Scheffer. The goalkeeper was announced the other day. I'm going to put him in a C, most because we do not know much about him, and I don't think we will learn too much about him. We'll see him in B team games, possibly in the Papa's John Trophy. He's exactly what I wanted from a backup keeper. Somebody young, somebody exciting. He plays for the Kosovo under 19s. And it's perfect. We need an understudy for Max. I know some people are saying we need a proper backup. Max has given us no indication that he's going to be injury prone, that he's going to be out of games, he doesn't get rash red cards. So I'm more than happy with Lloyd Scheffer. I'm hoping that he can be the goalkeeper that really, really becomes that understudy that Max, I think, deserves. Now, Rob Lowe, I'm going to rate a B. He did not have the best time on loan last season. However, he looks exactly the sort of centre-back that Matt Bloomfield wants. He is, first of all, a brick shithouse. He makes Tafazoli look small, which is genuinely impressive. We had a lot of fun trying to figure out who it was compared to his tattoos and what boots he wore, and we did figure it out. He is actually very good at passing in the ground. I've created a statistic of the passing stats and averages, and he makes the most accurate passes out of every one of our centre backs so far based on last year's ratings. He is also very strong, very tall. I think that's something that will actually have to be trained into him a little bit, but we have the players capable of training him to be a bit more aggressive. But on the ball, he is phenomenal. And that is something that I think we are going to look at, and what Bloomfield will want to have our centre-backs doing. He's only 20. I believe it's either a minimal fee with clauses or no fee with clauses. So it's a good outlay for the player. I think he'll be coming into the first team. He'll be on the bench a lot of games. He'll be rotating into the first team. And that is absolutely brilliant to have. I am quite excited about him. Luke Lee, I'm putting as S there. I genuinely believe Luke Lee was one of the best midfielders in the league last year. Not even in terms of outside the top 5, 6 team that have to. I think he was one of the best midfielders in the league. And it's impressive that he's been able to transform from a left back, a left wing back into an all action midfielder capable of both going forward, providing goals and assists, but also defend quite well. He was a statement signing, I think, to say, look, we aren't messing around. We are going to be strengthening this team. And that was an amazing, amazing moment when we heard. We went from rumours about Luke Lee wanted to leave until about a couple of hours later, we had an official announcement from Cecil, which is absolutely amazing. I'm really excited. He's very good at set pieces. He's just a very, very good centre midfielder. And I'm really excited to see what he can bring. Now, Kane, Vincent, Young, I think is an exceptional pickup. Not only is he a fantastic person, he's a fantastic attacking wing back, which is exactly what we need. We've had Jordan Obita, who wasn't as good as perhaps we thought he was, comparing him to other players we've brought in. But also, he is a little injury prone, but Ipswich fans have been saying that he's got a lot better than last season. But look at the strength of Ipswich's wing backs last season. He wasn't going to play over them, but he still did very, very well rotating for them when required. And they were saying a couple of days before he got signed, they were shocked that no, even low championship or high-end League One club had went in for him because he was a fantastic, fantastic player. So he's a really, really good signing. I think that he's exactly what we've needed. Grimmer, I think, has played better as a centre-back than a right-back, or a right wing-back in this case. Jason McCarthy is not that guy when it comes to going forward. So Kane, Vincent Young, able to play left wing-back and right wing-back. He'll be playing, by the looks of it, mostly right wing-back. I think that's a brilliant, brilliant signing. Now, I am going to go and have to check to see which players which, because these three players do sort of, I've not got to know them all the best. So this is Harry Boyes. And I think he is also another exceptional signing. He had a very good season on loan last year, and we needed a left wing back, a proper attacking left wing back, which he can bring. He's young. He's got experience in this league already. He's got a full season of experience in this league, and he is highly regarded by his parent club. I think he is the perfect replacement for Jordan Obita, and actually I think he will be better than Jordan Obita, which is a really positive improvement. We wanted to keep Obita, he left, so we went, do you know what? Fair enough, you can go. We'll replace you with somebody better on loan. Have a good time up in Scotland. The grass isn't always green up in Scotland. One of our centre backs has realised that, hasn't he? So I'm looking forward to seeing this lad down the wing. He is exactly that sort of mould I talked about Kane, Vincent Young, attacking, aggressive, overlapping wing back that's going to get high up the pitch. We saw with the Arsenal highlights. I didn't get to watch the match versus Aldershot, but what I imagine is they got very high up the pitch. They're looking to provide overload, which is brilliant. It's a fantastic way of playing, I think. Getting balls across and then into the centre of the box for the players we have in the box. Guys like Hanlon, Vokes, and who is it? Dale, who only announced today, Dale Taylor. Again, an A. He did quite well on loan at Burton last season, scored against us, 5 goals in 20. Again, highly, highly rated by his parent club. And some were surprised he wasn't getting a championship loan, which is, we've done well there. A pattern you're seeing is all of our loan players have been scouted very, very well. We have, I believe, 3 players on loan. So we have Dale Taylor, we have Boyes, and we obviously have Brecken, who I'll talk about last. So in a matchday squad in the EFL, you can have 5 loans, which means we still have place for 2 more loanees, which is an excellent thing to think about. That perhaps we get into the season and we realise actually we need another centre-back, or we play a couple of games, go, actually we need somebody else attacking, or we need a winger. We can go and dip in our toes to the loan market, which there are plenty of players out there. I think Dale Taylor is an absolutely phenomenal signing. He brings something a bit different, that forward line. Sam Vokes hasn't played the last couple of matches. It may look like Dale will be potentially starting up front. Manny Mellor has been playing quite well. He got 2 goals in 2 games so far. And he just helps place... He just helps give a place that didn't have too many rotation options or too many goal scorers, certified goal scorers. The man, he's interesting and he's developing. But Sam Vokes was the main striker. Hanlon hasn't been a prolific goal scorer, and I don't think he will be. So it's really good to have somebody in a house like him who can hit the net. And last, Keane Brecken. I think this could be shades of an Eze loan. And I'm being a bit far forward there. He looks like he has all of the talent in the world. And now is his first senior experience to really show it. And I'm going to put him in the S tier. He seems to be our centre attacking midfielder. And I think that's because he plays the exact way Bloomfield wants us to play. He's comfortable keeping possession. He plays a lot of 1-2s. He tries to overload sides of pitches, which we will be doing. He'd come over to the right to provide support for Kane, Vincent, Young, and the striker, or Luke Lee, whoever's on that side. He's able to hold possession up. He's able to fight his man. He's able to put in the hard yards as well. Luke Lee, I think we can all understand, is going to be a good player. Keane Brecken excites me. I think he's the sort of player that can and will get you out of your feet. And it would be nice to have another player like that. We had that with Anish Mehmeti. He obviously left. It would be nice to have somebody like Keane Brecken who can, little moment of magic to get fans out of their feet, to get fans chanting, to get fans loving it. So, as you notice, not a single person in the D tier. I think all of these signings have been at least good. Richard Keogh, I don't want to say is uninspiring, but I think he's the one that's just, okay, this makes sense, but he's not exciting. But it's very understandable why we brought him in. Same with Lloyd Scheffer. He's not one that's going to get your heart pounding, but he is a necessary signing, and I think he's going to be a good signing. This is, I hope, not going to be all of our signings. I do not believe there are... I think Laurie would be a B team player, but we normally bring in about 5 to 6 to 7 B team players a year. Rob Lowe will not be a B team player either. He will be playing with the first team by everything that we've been told about him, by the fact he played with the first team matches as a trialist rather than the B team match. He played at Arsenal on the 21s rather than the B team match that evening, which shows you where he's going to be this season. So this is not the final ranking, but I don't think I'll do another video about the whole transfers until the transfer deadline, because we can act late, and we have acted late on times. But this has been a fantastic month to be a Wanderers fan, I think. 2 victories against Arsenal and against Aldershot. Got Joe Jacobs' testimonial coming up. Got a friendly on Tuesday and a friendly on, I believe, Saturday. It's going to be... I think this is going to be a great year to be a Wanderers fan. And the transfers, I think, speak to that. So let me know what you think. Let me know whether you like my predictions, whether you think something different. But no matter what, I hope you have a brilliant day.